Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome back once again to Transwest Truck Trailer RV. I'm Mark Love, and today I've got a really great used unit for you. This is a 2024 Verona LE, and it's barely used. It was taken care of immaculately. It's just in great shape. And this is the 38LDG floor plan. So just a single bathroom, no bunk beds in there. It does have the overhead bunk. A lot of great features on it. So let's just go ahead and get started. First of all the Verona LEs are built on an M2 106 chassis, and they have the 8.9 360 horse Cummins engine. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Like I said, 360 horsepower. You'll get 1,150 foot-pounds of torque out of this. Anybody that works on their own engines appreciates how easy it is to get into the Super Cs. You can see your windshield washer fluid, coolant, air filter right there. On the other side over here, you can access your oil, your transmission, power steering fluid. Right here's your oil dipstick, transmissions down here, water separator. Just very easy when you're doing your pre-trip check to go over everything. And a couple other things that I like to point out now and then. Get a shot at this bumper. It's the way they've got that pinned in there with bolts at the top and bottom. This piece actually is made to break away. There's another nice feature. They've got struts on the hood so it doesn't slam down. You can see the seam right here. And in a front end collision, this piece actually will break away. They've got a flange here so it doesn't dig into your tire. Basically what you can do is save the front of the bumper. A lot of times this glass is so heavy duty you don't even lose the headlight. So Freightliner just did a great job engineering this with the breakaway bumper. Also, they've got the fold-away mirrors. Now these will hold a couple 100 pounds or more very easily. And if you've noticed our lot, we've got the hail covers now. We have to park them 3 deep to get them in. So quite often, we're folding these in to get it to clear the unit that's next to us. And then you also see it's got a CB antenna on the mirror there. So if you want to get a CB, you're set up for it. Okay, as we go down the driver's side, a couple of things I'll point out. We do have a place you can plug in, preheat your engine. You've got your DEF tank. You have dual 50-gallon fuel tanks, one on each side. I believe that's a 6-gallon DEF tank. And then over here, a couple of things I'll point out. First of all, we do have an air ride seat, and sometimes people have a hard time finding where that control is. And then right back here is our power disconnect, and this is our main chassis batteries. So as you get in and out, if you're not going to be driving up for a while, you want to make sure you turn those off. And then I like the way Freightliner really does a great job for people maybe that aren't that tall, stepping up into these big cabs. They make it really easy. This is a nice a grid here, the skid plate, get the snow, the mud off your shoes. Got a couple of places you can grab a hold of. And if you ever wanted to see what the NBA players get a view of, stand up here and look around. But again, the M2 106 chassis, one of the workhorses for Freightliner. Okay, as we go down the compartments here, first compartment's got all of our batteries. Now over on the left, these are the starting batteries for the chassis. And then we have 300 amp hour Dragonfly lithium batteries. This is also comes equipped standard, or standard with a 3,000 watt inverter. And then as an option, there's 525 watts of solar panels on the roof. So with your 3 batteries, your 525 watts of solar, you can stay off grid quite a while and keep those batteries topped up. Also, this unit, we added a Starlink to it also. So there are just a lot of great features, especially if you like the high-end electronics. Right there you can see your inverter. Again, that's a Victron 3000. And it gives you some nice storage right there. Now, Renegades come with macerator toilets, but this also has the flow jet macerator system. That's what that white hose is right there. You can kind of see it in this compartment also. Your holding tanks are up here, and I can't do a Renegade video without talking about their compartment doors. I think they're the best in the business. They've always got a dual latch. This one's a little different. It's top and bottom instead of the side, but heavy duty, real beefy hinges, so these doors don't sag. They're easy to shut. They stay closed. Like I say, one of the best in the business. You can see the dual latches on this one. Okay, this is our water compartment. You can see it has a whole house filter right there, and everything is kind of etched in there, so you're never going to have any question which one's your gray tank, your black tank down. We do have a black tank washout there, cable input, and you can see we also have a monitor right there. I don't know why my battery's reading 0, but we'll get that figured out. And then you do have a power hose reel for your water line. That's always nice, especially in colder temperatures, to get that in and out. Here's our 8,000 watt Onan diesel generator. It's actually pretty quiet. You can probably hear it now that I'm standing next to it. But one of the things about this generator, it's easy to get parts, easy to have it worked on. It's the most common generator for the RV, for the diesel pusher and Super C industry anyway. It'll run both of your air conditioners, your microwave, everything you need. And then back here we've got another storage compartment. The Veronas and Verona LEs come with a big beefy 20,000 pound hitch. They give you this insert which has the 2 5/8 and the 2-inch ball. You also get a 50 amp power cord that's on an electric rewind. And then in the back you can see the surge protector, the transfer switch there. Okay, as we step around back, I like to talk about the Verona caps, or the Renegade caps in general. They make these in 2 pieces. You can see the seam right here. It's another, you know, you hate to buy something thinking if I have an accident, I only have to replace the bottom half. But fact is, most of the time you do damage, it's a bolliard, it's something silly you back into maybe. You're not, you know, needing to replace the whole cap. So I like the fact that they do this in 2 pieces. And then over here you can see we've got, that's our 7-way plug. Now this does come standard with a Curt brake controller. That's for our Voyager camera system. Maybe you've got a stacker trailer, you want to keep a camera on that, or a horse trailer and you've got a camera inside. You can toggle back and forth up in the cab. Here is a 3-inch receiver with the step down, so if you're towing a vehicle with a Blue Ox hitch and it's a 2-inch insert, it'll fit right in there. Like I say, 20,000 pound towing on the Veronas, and that's a heavy load. Okay, as we step around over on the passenger side, let's just take a look at some of the storage we've got back here. And in this back compartment, you can see up here we've got our vacuum cleaner. We have that inside and out, and our hoses and so forth are inside, but it's nice to be able to bring it out and clean out these compartments if you get them real dirty. All right, this here has our Aqua-Hot, and this is the 450. It has the diesel burner and the electric element. And right now, I'm actually with the generator on running off our heat pumps, which are an electric unit in the air conditioners, and everything warmed up rather fast for me. We do get a, what is that, a 41-inch TV with a sound bar. It's a Samsung 4K TV. And then up here is a open storage area. It spans a couple of bays, and I guess the previous owner left some patio rugs in here for you. And another thing, as long as we're right here and I'm thinking about it, the weather's kind of nasty today, but one of the things with the Renegade products is they have their Vega touch system, and I was in here earlier. Hopefully it'll bring it right back. There we go. So on our awnings, oops, push controls. Let me go back and cycle that, go to our awnings. And there we go. The reason I like this app is if I'm by myself and there's a tree or a neighbor right here and I don't know how far this awning's going to come out, it's easy to walk around and look at it while it's coming out. Same with your slide outs. I am going to go ahead and put this back in because of the weather today, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this app while we're outside, show you how easy it is to use once you get paired to the right unit. There we go. So you do have a nice patio awning right here. Let's go ahead and step inside and take a look at the floor plan. Okay, once again, this is the Verona LE 38LDG floor plan. And I like leaving the slides in to kind of show you when you walk through here how much room you've got, especially if you're traveling maybe with a big dog or something like that. This is not restricting me at all. It gives me plenty of clearance to walk through. It's actually pretty comfortable if you have to maybe pull over at a rest stop, wait out a storm, or sleep for a few hours. You don't even need your slides out. And then over here, I will go ahead and put my slides out. Now you can do it on the phone, you can do it on your monitor panel here. Now while we're waiting on these, this is the Hamden interior. Nice kind of a medium colored maple cabinets. Let me get our kitchen slide out. There we go, and I'll go ahead and put the bedroom slide out right now also. There we go. So this is 38 feet, like 1 inch, bumper to bumper. You do have 74-inch ceilings inside. The height on this one is 12 feet 10, 12 feet 11, just under 13 feet if you're putting it into a garage. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got up front. To start with, this has got the bunk, and the bunk is an option. They're not standard with the Veronas, and very easy to get this converted. Well, let's get that out of the way for starters. There we go. I think I've got my cushions in the opposite direction and it's not letting me fold it underneath. There we are. Okay. So if you are traveling with kids or guests and you need some extra sleeping, this unit actually would accommodate 8. We've got a queen bed up here. One of the nice features is this bunk shade that we've got. There we go. And then also you've got some nice accent lights. Actually, if you want to turn all of your lights off, you can do it right here. You notice over on the side we got a little cubby You do have 110 USB, USB-C. On the other side, we have a TV. And let's go ahead and get the rest of these on. And you can see you've even got a master on-off right here in the light panel. So a nice feature if you do need the extra sleeping. Then when it's time to travel, like I say, I've got these cushions have an angle on them, and I've got my angles backwards, so it makes it a little bit harder to get that in and out. But when you're traveling, it does make it easy to get in and out of the cab area when you move that bunk. Okay, right behind the passenger seat, we have our main TV, and this one does pull out. Allows you to adjust the angle to it. And then under here, we've got another controller here. You don't really need to worry about this, but there are a lot of other systems that you can keep an eye on. There's no storage behind that. There we go. Down below it here, we do have a place for video components, satellite systems, gaming systems, and so forth. And then down below, we do have our 12-volt breakers, or yeah, the 12 volts are down there, the fuses. Okay, in the kitchen, so we've got some nice storage there. That is your subwoofer there under the sink. And here we've got 3 full pull-out drawers. And I like to point out how these are built with the dovetails, the heavy solid wood, the soft closed drawers. Renegade just does a great job, I think. Then you've got another storage area. There's one of your trays when you're using the microwave as a convection oven. A little more storage down here. Up above, we've got an induction cook surface. And again, anything that a metal or that a magnet will stick to will work on this convection. You don't have to run out and buy special pans. Actually, your cast iron will actually work on this. Then we get a very large convection microwave. Beside the microwave, we've got a little bit more storage. Nice little window right here in front of the sink too, and you know, on a rainy day you can open these, let some air through, but you don't necessarily get wet. And then a large undermount stainless steel sink makes it easy to wipe things into the sink to keep it clean. We do have a residential style sprayer right there. Okay, across from the kitchen, we come to our couch, and I was telling you that this couch this coach will sleep 8 people. So we do have a sleeper right here, and I'll go ahead and show it to you. So this one's actually pretty easy to pull out. There we go. And then I see the previous owners did buy a topper for this, it looks like. I don't think that comes standard. Nice foam top topper. But it's a double bed basically. Big enough for 2 adults unless you're really large. Like I say, to put that away, easy enough. And this does have a couple of seat belts down in here. Oops. Make sure that gets tucked down in. There we go. I guess the biggest problem is, where do you put the cushion once you make it into a bed? but that pretty quick and easy. And then also over here at the dinette table, this is one that does convert to a sleeper. People ask me all the time, and if you see the angled piece under there, that's usually going to tip you off that it does convert. There's a lever there. Push it all the way down. A couple of cushions in the back to fill it in here, but that's easy enough to convert. And then also we have storage under both sides of the bench. Overhead, got a large open storage area up here. One of the things that I point out to people, whenever you go in a motorhome, reach behind this stile right here, if they have stiles. And you can tell if it's a wrapped, like a pine or a cottonwood, or whether this is solid wood, which it is in the case of the Renegade. I love their cabinetry, their hidden hinges. Everything looks great. They've got the brushed nickel here. On this side, we get another bank of 3 cabinets that are open all the way. So it's easier to get your longer items up there. You do have functioning windows on both sides of the slide out. Makes it easy to get a little bit of a breeze here. We could almost use it right now. That heat has really kicked on for me. As we move back, let's take a quick look at the refrigerator. So this is a residential refrigerator freezer. I think it's like a 19 cubic foot. This runs off your batteries and your inverter. And the residential refrigerators have become so efficient, it's not a big drain on your battery power. Okay, back here at our entry door, when we first come in, we do have some storage here. That controller up there is for the awning. As you come in the steps, your master battery disconnect is right here. You do have an emergency start button. This just overrides the steps, so they're not always going in and out. But you do get a panel right here, and from this one, as I'm going in and out, I can either turn all those ceiling lights off or turn them all on, which is kind of a nice feature. And you can run your awning in and out right here as you're coming in the door. And across from the door, we do get a little bit more pantry area. And look how long those are. So you got 4 shelves, and I guess those aren't adjustable. Those are fixed. 5 shelves actually altogether. Okay, as we come back into the bedroom bathroom area, I want to talk about the monitor panel a little bit, particularly because I want to get into the heat and I want to turn these off. It is starting to get pretty warm in here. See, this is our main climate. If we want to run our Aqua-Hot, you can see we've got our diesel burner or our electric burner. And we have 2 zones, front and rear. Here's another nice feature. We have floor heat on this. I turned that on when we come in, and I don't really think I need it anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the floor heat off. But I also have a control for the bay. And in order to get heat there, I've got to have my Aqua-Hot running either on diesel or electric. But that's nice because, helps in the winter if you're a snowmobiler and want to use it, later in the year. You've got heated compartments down below. You also have electric heat pads on the holding tanks. As we come in, that's our master panel there. Gives you your levels of your black, gray, and your fresh. By the way, you have 150 gallons of fresh, 75 black, 75 gray. The gen's running. You can see our house batteries all topped off, our chassis also. And then if I wanted to, I could go in and program, the gen's running right now, but I could program my auto gen start. And you can do that to kick on, let's say my batteries reach 12.1 volts. I want to charge the batteries. Maybe I want to set it at 75 degrees because I'm leaving my dog inside when I go for a hike. As it warms up, that generator will kick on, and your air conditioner can be preset to come on at 75 degrees. So most everything that you do, right here's your settings. When I'm trying to connect to the Vega Touch, it gives me my unit and my code. But most things that you can do right here, you can do on your phone. That includes your slide outs, your awnings, your levelers, your lights, inside and out. Like I say, just a great system, centrally located, easy to figure out. Okay, let's look at what we've got right across from our monitor panel is our Splendide stackable washer and dryer. Again, this is an option, not a standard feature, but we put it on pretty much everything that we do in the Renegades. We've got a split bathroom. So over here we've got our sink, our medicine cabinet, little storage. Very nice solid surface countertop with a great looking backsplash. And then some nice storage here. Again, look how deep those drawers are. Thick, well built. They don't fall apart on you in 6 months as you're going down the road. Okay, and then over here we have our shower and toilet. Now again, the Renegades all use macerator toilets, but you can get that FlowJet macerator system too to help clean out your black tank better. Radius shower. Now, here is one thing where people that are much over 6 foot tall have a little bit of a problem. It does give you a skylight, but you know, if you're that tall, there aren't very many places where the shorter people have an advantage, so we'll take it. I've got no problem showering in here. Plenty of elbow room, plenty of headroom, adjustable shower head. It's got a seat, and this one-piece fiberglass surround makes it very easy to keep clean. I guess we also have a little bit of storage up there. Looks like they left a roll of toilet paper too. Like I say, this is a used coach with about 8,700 miles on it. And he went with a bigger Super C, but this thing's just in immaculate shape. I can't describe how nice it is. Okay, as we come back into the bedroom, first of all, we've got a couple privacy doors. And these have some substance to it. We have another one actually right here. There we go. So if you're stepping into the shower, you can isolate it, you know, just for yourself from the bedroom and from the living area. As we step back into the bedroom, let's start by looking under the bed here. You got a pole here you can use to prop this up. But you see we've got two 75-gallon freshwater tanks, and everything that you need to winterize it, your pump is right here, your drain valves are right here. It's easy to access. And I like the fact that Renegade does this. Number one, with the water tank inside and all your water lines running within the upper part of the frame of the coach, you don't worry about freeze-ups as much. You've got better cold weather use with this. And then when it is time, put a little antifreeze in it. Right there's your bypass tube. You can see the blue down there. We've got antifreeze in it right now. You've got some large, what are those, like 2-inch or maybe 3-inch drains. So when it's time to drain your freshwater tank, it doesn't take forever. Just very well planned out. You've even got a couple of circulator pumps right there, or fans. Okay, now on both sides of the bed, if you notice, we've got a pedestal, then a 110 outlet with USB and USB-C ports, USB-Cs. And then overhead, again, we get this large open cabinet. There is a 110 outlet overhead, and you even have one of your Firefly panels overhead. So if you forget to turn out the lights, forget to turn off your generator, you can do it right there laying in bed. Functioning windows on both sides. And another nice bonus, you get a fan with the 74-inch ceilings. It's actually tall enough to put in a ceiling fan over the bed and have clearance for your fascia on the slide out. Okay, now across from the bed, We've got our wardrobe area. That's actually a little trash can they built that can go underneath. You've got your owner's manuals. I did notice in here your account activation information for the Starlink is right there. Then we have 4 fairly deep pull-out drawers. And again, all with the soft close feature. TV, and this is what, a 32-inch TV, I believe, for the bedroom. This is your emergency exit, your egress window. Again, you've got some compartments for video. You can see the Starlink mounted over here. Most people tend to use streaming services now, I think more than satellites, we're finding out. Under here you've got fairly large dresser drawers. And then again, right there is our vacuum cleaner utensils. And then 3 more drawers up here. And then finally, one more shirt closet. And these 2 cushions here are what you would use when you're making the dinette into a bed. Okay, I think that's about everything here. You know, I hadn't really noticed this bar before, but I guess you got an extra place if you want to hang some clothes there and you need it. All right, let's go talk about the cab a little bit. So again, we're on the Verona LE, and you're going to have the same dash in the Verona, and a lot of the units that are built on the M2 106 chassis. Now, one thing, I'll go ahead and fire this up. The beeping you're hearing is from your levelers. It doesn't, I don't think they've really dropped. You just got to cycle it and shut it off so it stops making noise. You've got your levelers right here, your suspension dump. So in the rear, you do have airbags. The nice thing about that, if you're backing up to a trailer, you can lower it, make it a little bit easier to hook up. You also have a differential lock. Here's our camera system, and let's see, go through our apps. We've got the navigation. There we go. So we've got, you know, our side cameras. Looks like we got a little bit of water on our camera lens. There we go. And then that's the one you're gonna be using mostly. And the nice thing about this is you can turn it on when you're going down the road to keep an eye on your trailer, where a lot of units, you can't actually do that. It only comes on when you put it into reverse. And then also this is removable, but it does have to be attached for the camera to work. Okay, right above it here too, we've got our Detroit Assurance package. So this comes with blind spot monitoring, lane assist, adaptive cruise control, it's got active braking and collision mitigation. I don't believe the 24 has the active cruise control. This is on the M2 chassis. They went to an M2 Plus. One of the big differences, you've got your 6-speed Allison 3200 transmission where you shift right here, where the M2 Plus, it moves it up to the column. So you would shift right here, it eliminates this. Right here on the column is our engine brake, if we want to engage it. And it is a 3-speed engine brake there. Tells you that it's on. Okay, curb brake controller. This is an option that they put on it. So if you are pulling, you know, an air trailer, something that has air brakes on a trailer, you're all set up with your brake controller. Lane departure warning. You can shut that off if you want. Sometimes it's kind of annoying, especially if you're going through a construction zone and you keep crossing the line and it give you that beep. You know, might want to turn it off. You do have a light there for your footwell. Over here, our shutdown override. These go through regular regen to burn off the particulates with the new diesels. You can override that if you're someplace where you don't want to do the regen. Also, here's your trailer and your truck camera, where you can toggle back and forth on your stacker trailer. Other than that, it's actually a pretty simple dash. Your climate controls right here, transmission here. Over on the left, I've got my mirror controls. We do have a heated mirror. Now, up here on the steering wheel, they made it kind of like your car. You can Bluetooth in your phone. You would answer it right here. This is where you set your cruise control. And then also, if you want to scroll through, let me see. There we go. We've got our different trip techs, different legs of our trip right there. Driving assistance. We can lock in our diff. No alerts. There's the setting. You can change your dash brightness and so forth. And then back to your home screen. 7.8 miles a gallon. That's probably pretty average for something like this. But when you stick something behind it and tow it, it's not going to drop very much. So you do have a couple of horns. You have your regular city horn, but everyone in a truck likes to have the air horns. Again, 6-speed Allison transmission, 360 horse Cummins, 1,150 foot-pounds of torque. So this actually has a GVW of 37,600 pounds and a towing capacity of 20,000 pounds. Your cargo capacity is about 5,800. So that's quite a lot of weight once you get things loaded up in here. So once again, I'm Mark Love. I think my information's being shown there. Please call or text me at 970-631-0083. Send me an email at mlove@transwest.com. Like I say, this is a great coach. It's not on the latest chassis. It's on the M2 instead of the M2 Plus. But other than that, I don't see how anybody could go wrong with this Verona LE. Happy trails, my friends. Drive careful, and we'll see you next week.